Hello, welcome to the Dollhouse. I am the doll, and today I am going to be talking about black hair again and examining why black hair is untouchable and whether or not that enhances the black femininity brand worldwide or not. You know, I went and got a haircut earlier today at Great Clips. I go there because it's cheap and it's quick. I like to wash and blow dry and flat iron my own hair, do anything else that I might need. And I let them clip it. I know many women get more elaborate styles and like to pay more for haircuts and dye jobs and all of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I understand why women who pay a lot for intricate styles will say, hey, I don't like when my hair is touched. Especially by strangers. Like, that's weird. A stranger coming up to you and putting their hands anywhere in your vicinity is strange. But for family and friends, especially when they're fascinated and they're loving your hair, they might touch your hair. And instead of responding with anger and with the accusation that they want to touch you because they feel like you're like a zoo animal and, they're petting you, making that accusation begs the question, do you think of yourself as a zoo animal? Do you really feel like you are a zoo animal? Because that's not the case. And usually when someone is trying to touch you is because they're fascinated. And who doesn't want to be fascinating? I read an article on Microsoft News today, MSN, and it's called 9 Things White People Never Have to Think About Ranked. And the number 7 thing is getting unwanted hair attention at work. People talk about hairstyles. Talking to black women about hair and even wanting to touch hair is a normal thing for people of all races to want to do. Because we are humans. And when we separate ourselves in a way that dehumanizes us, it just dehumanizes you. Makes you less relatable. And if you're trying to social climb, if you're trying to advance yourself in the world, if you are seeking to gain the most that you can out of life, you want to attract people, make them feel comfortable in your warmth. And having the attitude that your hair is off limits or the discussion of hair is offensive or touching your hair is completely off limits, it really does make you seem like a weirdo for the most part and not fun. And you don't have to let strangers, I'm not saying let a bunch of strangers touch your hair, but saying, no, I don't want you to touch my hair because it's delicate and you might impact the style if you touch it because it's just so delicate. That's different than saying, don't touch me. I am not a circus pet. No, I am not a rodeo clown for you to just, for your entertainment and comfort. The first way is better than the last way. Just say no. It's okay to say no, but say why and give the real reason. My hair is delicate. It's very intricate. The style costs a lot to maintain and too much touching can mess it up. And then that's the truth. Or you can say, if you touch a fluffy piece of cotton, that's really what it feels like. Make sure that everybody knows how soft and beautiful your hair by aligning it with something that is soft and beautiful. You don't have to have this veil of shame around your hair. And, I'm going to go back to what I read on MSN. Have they never heard Solange's song? Touching someone's hair without asking should be an automatic call to HR. And not just because some fingers might get broken. Ha ha ha. What? Is that the brand that we have out here as Black American women? Yes, am a mixed race woman. I'm over 25% in English in my lineage, but I am a black woman as well. I identify very much as that. And this is definitely detrimental to our brand. Having people think that touching our hair might lead to a call to HR or your fingers might get broken. Now let's unpack the first part. An automatic call to HR because of your hair, because of touching hair, talking about hair, restricting hairstyles. That is terrible for our brand, because what employer wants to be riddled with complaints or threatened by the risk of someone who could potentially sue them because of some kind of hair incident, some kind of racism incident stemming from hair? Nobody wants to be bothered with that. So we have to make an effort to destigmatize black hair and make it way more regular and normal. Like normalize black hair. That's what I'm trying to say. Normalize black female hair. So the other part of this statement is not just because some fingers might get broken. Is that because going through the hair with your fingers, it could be rough and tough and your fingers might get broken because pulling them out might be too hard? Is that a racist inside joke? I don't know. Maybe I'm being paranoid. Or is that a call to the potential violence from an angry black woman? I don't know which one is worse. Really? Which one of those is worse? Now, in my true gut instinct, I feel like this phrase, not just because some fingers might get broken, is related to the potential violence from whoever's hair you're touching. That's the reality of what I think they mean. We have to stop speaking this sort of suffering over ourselves, okay? And allowing other people to speak the stereotypes of hostility about us. And the only way to do that is by demonstrating the opposite. Just demonstrate the opposite, a welcoming, fresh attitude in relationship to your hair. Now, this is easier. Yes, it's easier when your hair is natural. And natural hair has become easier over the last 10, 15 years. It has arguably always been easier for people with looser curl textures and curl patterns. But it's getting easier. It is easier to welcome admirers when your hair is natural. And even then, you don't have to welcome someone touching it, but just expressing that, oh, I really prefer that people, not touch my hair because it is delicate and the style could easily be shifted, and I would prefer if you admire it from afar. Not, I'm not some weird monkey that you can just pet. I'm not a dog. That's the response that this article is referring to. Someone having to go to HR or potentially having broken fingers. So, yeah, having natural hair helps to destigmatize and normalize black hair. Because typically when a natural hair is in its curly state, getting hair wet or being, having rain and humidity, it's not such a big problem. And I know as a natural, I love walking in the rain, being unbothered about it. And I do understand why people of all races want to avoid getting their hair wet. And it's not just a black woman thing. And if you do want to avoid getting your hair wet and not swim or not walk in the rain, there's totally nothing wrong with that. And there's no shame associated with it. Just, again, lean on the phrasing that your hairstyle is intricate and expensive and you don't want to ruin it with the moisture, unnecessary rain moisture. It's always good when we're influencing people and we do something that might be perceived as out of the norm, to provide the reasons why. Because you can get away with just about anything without being judged for anything, as long as you give a reason why. Because people very rarely want to dig into the complexities of why you're doing something. If you give a reason why, they'll generally accept whatever it is that you're saying is normal. But if you don't give a reason, then it makes you seem abnormal. So I'm just saying, if you don't want to swim, you have natural hair, or you have processed hair, and you don't want to ruin it, there's nothing wrong with that. But giving the reasons can help to humanize you and help with being relatable and explaining why it's untouchable at a certain point and why your hair might be untouchable can really help to bridge the understanding for who you are as a complex woman of color. It's hair, it's different, but it's not a source of shame. It's just hair. We've been through a lot with hair. And like I said earlier, I went to Great Clips and got a haircut. And when I walk in, I can always tell that the staff there gets nervous because mostly they're white women. They always get nervous when they see me because I'm a black woman. They don't know what to expect. They've probably had black women before that might be scared of having too much hair cut off. When I walk in, there's always some weirdness. So they seem to always gain comfort in knowing that I've been there before. Once they put my phone number in the system, they've seen that I've been there. They seem to relax. And so the lady cutting my hair, she was doing a good job, As things progressed and everyone got comfortable, the tension dissipated. Another stylist walked over and complimented how beautiful my hair is. Right now it's blown out. I have 3C hair and it's blown out and it's very long and puffy, like big puffy hair. But it's been flat ironed too. So it's kind of like softly curled and puffy, and it's probably below bra strap, right between bra strap and waist length. So she comes over to admire, and this is a white woman. She asked me if it was all mine, and it was, and she was just like, wow, somewhat amazed, but I don't understand why. I mean, they might not get a lot of black clients. And then she asked me if I'd seen the video of Beyonce and if I thought her hair was real. And I told her, of course, I thought her hair was real. I know that she probably read some comment section and saw some woman of color accusing Beyonce of wearing a lace front. I stated that I thought it was weird how no one thought that she could have real hair, especially since she has $1 billion and people to maintain her strands in protective styles virtually every day of the year. So of course her hair is flourishing, and my hair is flourishing. So hopefully I provide an example to these women that black hair is not untouchable. It grows. It may be more delicate. We should be able to use services and go to places like Great Clips and use whatever shampoos and conditioners we want. Okay, so just as I finished this video, I ran across a YouTube short of this black girl and her Asian husband and her dancing in the rain. And the caption of the video says, when he shows up with an umbrella without me asking, because he knows how much these silk presses cost. And it's so funny because they are so cute. Just singing this song. Nobody knows me quite like you. Nobody can love. They're just being silly in the rain, and I think it's hilarious. And this is the exact way to, market, your hair, your brand, the Black femininity brand. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get my hair wet. I may not want you touching it because these silk presses cost, baby, I am expensive. So anyway, y'all, I hope that this makes sense to you. I think that we can improve our global brand by destigmatizing our hair and welcoming people to understand it as a source of pride and beauty. And that even though they may not be welcome to touch it, that it's not because we feel dehumanized by them touching us. It's because our hair is delicate and the style is delicate and it could be easily impacted by touching. Make yourself delicate, not tough, and certainly not a zoo animal. So I hope this makes sense, and I'm sure we'll be talking soon, ladies. Bye.